Hey guys, Kristen Stevens here from Purple Mouse. I'm gearing up for the marketing conference happening in Brizzy on the 24th of May. And in the lead up to the event, I thought it might be nice to have a chat with some of our speakers to discuss their thoughts around what's happening in the marketing sphere. So first up is Renee Davidson, the Head of Marketing and Digital for RACQ.
I think that's an understatement. If you look at how much change we've actually had as an industry, as a profession over the last 5 years, it has been incredible. Media fragmentation, the mix of channels, the tech that's come out, and even just from a competitor landscape, it has been huge. Yeah, fortunately, I think the principles of marketing haven't changed. So yes, it's more complex. Yes, we've got more options, and yes, at times it is harder to reach our audience. But the great thing is, if we really understand what it is that we're actually going out to market with, what's the problem, the challenge or the opportunity, who are we actually trying to reach, why would they be interested? We can actually we're able to drive even better results. I think one of the great things is that we've now got data and we can actually understand what customers are actually doing. And that's just making what we're doing even better than what it was in the past. As marketers, we need to understand what the business is actually trying to achieve. And so we need to be very strategic when we actually shape our marketing campaigns, our brand strategy, and make sure it's really aligned with what the business is after. There are always going to be ad hoc opportunities or business challenges that come out that are opportunities the business wants to take short term. And as a marketing team, I think, or as marketers, learning how we can actually be more agile in our approach and get things fast out to market, whilst making sure that we're really clear on what the broader strategy is and how it plays into that broader strategy. We have explored using agile methodology across the teams, and in certain areas of our team that works really well. So in our data side and digital teams, we see great success on that front. When it comes to the broader marketing specialists, one of the challenges that we've got is that so much of our work actually takes time and thinking. We really need to understand the business problem. We need to build that in, understand the channels. If it is involving some of our bottom line channels, it's not a quick turnaround. It's actually something that needs to be planned and built out. So, it's one of those things where I think there are definitely elements of agile that we can take through the process, but it's more of optimization that we focus on across the broader team, and we have a process around planning, really reviewing what we need to do strategically, building out what that activity looks like. We have regular optimization sessions where we go through that in detail, see how things are actually performing and make those changes, and what that means for the broader plan for the year. So it is definitely evolving. The role of brand in digital marketing is incredibly important, and I think one of the things that brand does is it gives you that credibility, it gives you that reason of differentiation why someone should actually buy something with you, and I think it's actually underestimated. One of the challenges that we've got is how do you make sure that you've actually got your brand proposition coming through in digital, and that is somewhat challenging through some of the different mediums, but broadly, when you start to think through how you use content, where your broader experience that you have with customers through different digital channels, it's that full customer journey that actually helps to deliver on your brand, and incredibly important that we take that into account. One of the things that digital has really done is that it has given us that two-way interaction with our members, both from an immediacy of actually understanding whether what we're putting out to market is relevant and is meaningful, so therefore driving an action or an outcome from a business perspective. But it's also opened up those communication channels, and quite often social is one of the first channels that we actually know that something or an experience has actually gone down across RACQ. So we take that incredibly, we have a huge amount of importance based on complaints or feedback that we actually get through those channels, because it actually gives you a really good indication if something is wrong, and allows us as a business to resolve it. So I think digital is actually allowing us to be much closer to our members, but it does present different challenges. I think brands, as long as they are aligned to the business strategy and they are genuine to what a business stands for, then there shouldn't be an expiry date, as long as that business has relevance. It's when the brand starts to shift away and it's not aligned to a business strategy, and it's not aligned to a customer or a problem that we're trying to solve in market, that we actually start to see that brands are expiring. Our role is to make sure that we're constantly looking at the relevance of our brand for the future, and you need to invest in it. It is something that requires energy, effort, and strategy to ensure that it doesn't expire, that it maintains that relevance. Yeah, so banking is definitely, I think from an outsider's perspective, it would be a quite different move for RACQ. But one of the things that we're very aware of is how do we actually make sure that we're really adding value to our members. And banking is one of those everyday touch points, and it's been a pain point for members for a long period of time. And so there's definitely been that opportunity. It's been part of our business strategy for a number of years now. So it was working out what is the right way to actually support and bring banking to our RACQ members and to Queenslanders. And the opportunity to merge with QT in 2016 was the perfect opportunity. So for us, it has been part of our business strategy. For us, from a marketing perspective, our brand strategy has actually been on that journey for a period of time. So we really knew that we needed to do a lot of work around our brand to be able to take our RACQ, what was traditionally a RACQ brand, and actually have the credibility to be able to support banking services in Queensland. We're Queensland's largest motor insurer, so and second largest home and contents insurer. So we definitely have some of that credibility when it comes to financial services. But for banking and everyday banking, to be really seen as a competitive alternative, trust is core to that, and something that we've been very focused on. I think I'm incredibly fortunate to work for a business. I always think about RACQ. We are trusted by so many parents to go out and pick their daughters up in the middle of the night. And there are a few businesses that you would really have that level of trust in, and our people have earned that trust. Our businesses have earned that trust, and to be able to take that sort of level of trust into other services, that's what we're here for in Queensland.